It is the Kase Permission Stochastic Smoothed indicator, everybody. It's a mouthful, so we're going to shorten it to KPSS. And an even easier way to remember the acronym, I think, is just by saying keep it simple, stupid. Stupid. And a fun fact on this one is this is one of the only indicators I've ever seen that was coded by a female. And you guys know, I did a whole video on how if they wanted to, women could absolutely take over the trading game. They just don't. So it's nice to see a little bit of balance here in the indicator coding world. Let's see how this one actually does. Can she beat the men? Let's get into things. Before we do that, just know, we do videos like this all the time. This is the premier indicator channel on all of YouTube. But we have a way of doing things, and you need to learn that way. So go to nononsenseforex.com, read that first page, watch that first video on the first page, and get started. You're going to love what you're going to see. For the rest of us, let's get into the specs. The year. If anybody cares about history like this, I know not many of you do, but this was kind of debuted in a magazine in 2002, but wasn't created for MT4 until 2010. But either way, it does fit well within the 1996 and on range that we like to see here. Just like the Stochastic Oscillator, this is going to be a confirmation indicator. Just like the Stochastic Oscillator, this is going to be a two lines cross indicator. The stochastic, I guess, is a couple things, but you guys know what I'm saying. But and as far as exit indicators go, I'm saying there's a chance. You should give it a try, I think. There are possibilities there, and I think when you look at this thing, you're going to see exactly why. Now, get the idea of a regular stochastic out of your head. This does not look like that. This is a very classic two lines cross indicator, and it is very smoothed out, as you can see. So if you're brand new and you have no idea how indicators work, once this green line crosses and closes above the red line, which is the slower of the two, that's going to be your signal to go long. And then conversely, when it crosses and closes below the red line, that is your signal to go short. So you can see this thing works pretty well on the example. Let's put it up against a regular stochastic, though, in the default settings. And you can just even see, side by side, how much better this thing is. It's not going to give you nearly as many signals, but stochastic I've always found to be a mess. It's one of the dirty dozen, and it's one of the dirty dozen indicators I never made a dedicated video on, and nobody really seemed to care because I think they all know the same thing. I think we've all had our turn with the regular stochastic oscillator, fast and slow, and even when you start to tweak it, it's more a pain in the ass than it is useful, and so people usually give up on it. And then they go shout it from the rooftops that indicators don't work, because this was the one example they used. Okay, whatever. Have fun with your trend lines. The rest of us are trying to optimize for the best indicator we can find, and I think this is going to be a pretty good entry, foreshadowing. But I also think, if you just look at this, to me, this has secondary confirmation indicator written all over it. So if you're searching for a good one of those, pay close attention to the rest of this video. We are about to get into the results. Before we do that, just know these results are not perfect and they only matter in the context of your system. So you must test this on your own. Also know that down below in the description you are getting a link to my automation blog that shows you how to test these yourself, so there is no excuse. You also get a link to the indicator blog that has all the tweak settings that I don't show you, has all the coding and the background history stuff that we don't really touch too much on in these videos. But all of that information is there for you in the link below. You will also get Dan Stone's second email address if you want to submit an indicator for this series. And then you get the indicator library on Stonehill Forex that allows you to download all of these indicators yourself, but really only on MT4. If you can find an MT5 or TradingView version, great, but we don't cover those here. So let's go ahead and jump right into these results. I'm pretty excited. Let's start with EURUSD. Nice place to start, and a good amount of total trades for something like a Forex pair 2, in my opinion. Being able to start right at the 11% mark is a good place to be. Super high win-loss ratio, even with a decent amount of trades. after the tweaks. That is also nice to see. But speaking of things that are nice to see, wait until you see gold. All my metals traders out here, holy crap. This is like stratospherically good for the indicator profile series. Almost hitting 40% off the jump like that. Crazy, crazy, crazy healthy amount of trades on top of that. 4 hour, I don't even care. I'm looking up here at this point. This is phenomenal. As gold traders know, and as fans of the indicator profile series have already seen, gold can be absolutely feast or famine. But if you have the right set of tools, you can absolutely feast on this pair. And we have given you those on this channel. Confirmation, baseline, exit alike. So make sure you give this one a run. Now let's go on over to the S&P. Still very, very solid. We like this. And you're going to notice too, this doesn't happen all the time, but definitely on the daily, you will notice in all 4 of these examples that the right move, as nice as that example looked, all nice and smooth like that, the right move was to speed the indicator up, actually. And you might be thinking, well, won't that bring the win-loss ratio down if I do that? Not the case here, and not the case in most of these examples. And so at first glance, even I was thinking, wow, the fact that this thing really goes nice and slow is truly its overall strength. No, it can actually do better if you speed it up. Who knew? You know, that's why we run these tests. We discover a lot of things that we would have normally assumed otherwise. Now, believe it or not, we have not seen the best results for this indicator yet. I don't know how many of you trade Bitcoin on the 4 hour or code your algorithm that way, but this is not a typo. You are seeing this correctly. Bitcoin, even on the default, you're getting a 50% return. I would not expect that level of success going forward. That is a crazy anomaly, but not a bad place to start. An indicator that on its own can do something like that, bananas. You know, it took a lot of tweaking just to get it, 3 ROI points higher. You could just throw this thing on the default and let it go. That's nuts. Not to mention, I don't know why I'm even ignoring the 18% on the 1 year. That's crazy good. I would love that. But I don't know if we've ever seen a result like this high on the indicator profile series without that one time we ran into the repainter, or the 1.5 times we ran into the repainter. As far as an indicator that we know does not repaint, this is really spooky good. And if you think it's too good, and this one might actually repaint, what Dan has started to do on the blog now is put up videos that go frame by frame and show you how this thing actually plays out, just to prove that it doesn't. Because anytime I see results this high, I instantly get suspicious. But this one really does look like it's the real deal. I think we really unearthed a diamond here, traders. Score one for the ladies. But we are going to keep right on doing this every week and just bring you more diamonds, more fire. So subscribe, hit the bell. We do so much here, man. We got a trading psychology podcast on Monday, videos like this every Wednesday, a blog on Thursday, and an investing podcast every Saturday. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it. The success stories alone from this channel absolutely dwarf any other YouTube channel out there, and I want you to be a part of that too. So put in the work, get your empire started, and go get it.